I would argue that the most important psychological discovery of the modern age is the age of self-image. By understanding self-image of you and by learning to modify and manage it accordingly. With your goals, you gain tremendous confidence and power. Consciously or not, each of us carries within us blueprints or drawings of ourselves. It may be blurred, and it is not clear to our conscious gaze. In fact, it may not be consciously recognizable at all. Once. But it is there, complete down to the last detail. Self-image is our own conception of my kind of person. I have been built from our own beliefs about ourselves. Mostly our beliefs about ourselves have unconsciously been formed from our past experiences, our successes and failures, our insults, our victories, and the way others react to us, especially in early childhood. From all this, we are mentally build yourself or your self-image. When an idea or thought about ourselves getting into this picture of truth, insofar as we personally concerned, we do not question its validity, but proceed to act upon it only if it is true. Self-image then controls what you can and cannot achieve, what that is difficult or easy for you, even how others feel. Respond to you only as certain and scientifically as it deserves. The thermostat controls the temperature in your home. In particular, all your actions, feelings, behavior, and even thoughts. Your social ties are always consistent with your self-image. In short, you will act like the kind of person who you believe it is more important, and you are right. Right could not act otherwise, though it had put on all conscious effort or willpower. This is why we strive to achieve something. A hard one with clenched teeth is completely useless. Willpower is not the answer. These are the characteristics of positive self-image. People who have a bad self-image or who claim have a sweet tooth, are unable to resist junk food, or are not confined time to exercise, will not be able to lose weight and keep it off. No matter what. That he was trying to consciously defy the image himself. This. You can't outshine a long stretch or escape your self-image. If you run away for a while, you will be carried back. Like a rubber band, extended along the length of 2 fingers, that, after loosening, will be docked back. People who see themselves as failure-type people will find some way to fail, in spite of all good intentions. Will, even if the opportunity is literally dumped in his lap. People who believe themselves to be victims of injustice, one who is meant to suffer, will always find the situation. To verify his opinion, you can insert any particular into this, your golf game, sales career, public speaking, weight loss, and relationships. Control of your self-image is absolute and pervasive. The snapback effect is universal. Self-image is the foundation, or the foundation of the whole. Your personality, your behavior, and even your environment, as well as your attitudes. Built. As a result, our experience seems to verify and thus corroborate our self-image. For example, a student who sees himself as the fool within mathematics, will always find that the value of mathematics is small. He then has evidence. Another in the same way. Sales professionals or entrepreneurs will also find on experiences and tendencies that prove that himself a true self-image. Whatever is difficult for you, frustration. Whatever you have in your life tends to prove and reinforce something embedded in the self-image. You're like a groove. Therefore the problem lies in our self-image or evaluation. Ourselves alone. Tell the student that just because he thinks he can't master algebra, and he will doubt his sanity. She has tried, and still nothing worked. Tell the sales agent that only a presumption can make him unable to get over a certain number, and he can prove that. You're wrong with his order book. He knew very well how hard he have tried and failed. However, as we will see, changes. Almost magically, it has happened both in the class of students and in the productive capacity of the. They change their self-image. Obviously, it's not enough to say, it's all in the head. I am more pleased to explain that it is based on ingrained patterns that may be hidden in certain consciousnesses that, if altered, will free you to tap into more potential and experience that is further from your results. This leads me to the most important truth about self-image is that it can be changed. Many case histories have shown that you do not never be too young or too old to change your self-image and start living an amazingly different life. One reason it seems so difficult for a person to changing habits, personality, or way of life, that almost all change efforts have been directed at changing ourselves. Some people have told me something is here. If you talk about positive thinking, I've tried it before, and it just didn't work for me. However, a little. The question always brings up individuals who employed positive thinking or attempted to use it on certain external conditions or on some specific habits or character defects. I'll get a good job. I will more calm and relaxed in the future. This business venture is going to be good for me, and so on. But they never thought to change their thinking from their original selves to achieve these things. Jesus warns us about the foolishness of putting new coat on an old shirt or put wine into old bottles. Positive thinking cannot used effectively as a code for the same old self-image. In fact, it is literally impossible to really think. Be positive about a particular situation, as long as you hold it. Many experiments have shown that after the self-concept changed, other things that fit the concept new from within is achieved easily and without tension. One of the earliest and most convincing experiments performed by the late Prescott Leckie, one of the pioneers in psychology of self-image. Leckie calls personality a system of ideas. Ideas, all of which must be consistent with each other. Ideas that are not in accordance with the system will be rejected, do not believe, and do not act. Ideas that seem to fit the system will be accepted. In the center of this system is the key, or the foundation upon which all that is built, is an individual's self-image or conception of himself. Leckie is a school teacher and has a chance to test his theory on thousands of students. He theorized that if a student has difficulty learning a particular subject, it could be because from the student's point of view it will affect him to learn it. Leckie believed, however, that if students could persuaded to change the definition of self, then his learning ability is also should have changed. This is evident from the case. A student misspelled 55 words out of 100 and failed so many in the lesson where he lost time for a year and made a big change and become one of the best spellers in school. One man. The girl who dropped out of one of the colleges because of her grades bad, entered Columbia, and became a student who graduated with good grades. The problem with these students is that they are not stupid or lacking in basic talent. The problem is inadequate self-image. They are identified with errors and failures. They say, I failed the test, factual and descriptive, then concludes, I failed. Leckie also uses the same method to cure students of habits such as nail biting and stutter. I myself contain such convincing case histories. Woman who was so afraid of strangers that she seldom ventured themselves out of the house and who now earn a living as public speaker. Salesperson, the person who has prepared the letter resignation because he was just not fit to serve, and 6 months later, I was number 1 on the 100 power rankings. Sales. Thoughts of Dr. Leckie on this subject, born from observation, as well as observations and experiences recorded in a collection of scientific research, has led to a positive self-image recognized by most psychological societies. Academic